Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast, Season 1, Episode 15, They Live. If this is your first time checking out the podcast channel, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And don't forget to join our Discord. All links can be found in the description. And as Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw on the Horrorcast, you will be hearing here. And don't forget to join us every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network. With that said, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast live on Twitch. This is Duck. I'm your head camp counselor. I'm also with fellow head camp counselors. Jay, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum McClintock. Jay, how you doing today, sir?
Mama don't like tattletales.
Oh, shit, you took one of my other lines.
That's right.
Damn it. I also have Jacob. Either put on these glasses or start eating the trash can Pinkston. Jake, how you doing, sir?
This one's real fucking ugly.
Oh,
Sorry,
shit. Now you took another one, too. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We'll keep going through them. Next, we got David. It looks like you dipped your face in cheese dip back in 1957, Jessup. David, how are you doing today, sir?
What's up, Hallie? Don't leave me, even though we don't have a relationship and we never built up any time together. I'm still going to act like I know you.
He is so fucking right. I thought the same thing, and I was so pissed off the entire movie. Next, we got Ethan. That's like pouring perfume on a pig. Eastwood. Ethan, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good formaldehyde face.
I took that personally. Thank you. Next, we have, and he's hidden, Dan. Life's a bitch, and she's in heat. Danzy. Dan, where you at, sir? Let's see what he's got going on.
Bam! Bam!
Just like the poster right there. He's got the glasses and everything.
Got the Roddy Piper
in there, man.
Yeah.
Got the Roddy Piper jacket, the Piper's Pit background, and a line from They Live. Oh, so you're in charge now.
There it is. Fuck yeah. I'm excited that everyone had these one-liners in their head, so this fucking rocks. And then finally, we got William wearing these. Oh, wait. Put the glasses on. Put the fucking glasses on, Sanamo. William. I don't think he scored, but William.
Hey, my wife. I don't know what we're
Nailed
doing.
it.
I mean, it is what it
Very
is.
nice.
Guys, yes, we are here to discuss They Live. Dan, thank you so much for joining us in this cast. We're going to go to you
guys
first,
for having
Dan,
me.
with your history of this movie, because I invited you to join this cast because I know you are a huge wrestling fan. And you said that you could literally quote this movie. You watch this movie every year on the anniversary date of Roddy's passing. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, for the past couple years, yeah. Yeah. It was a pleasure to watch it again. I know a lot of fun facts about this movie. Like one, Vince McMahon didn't want Roddy Piper to do it. He walked up to Roddy Piper when he heard he was doing the movie, and he was like, hey, you don't have to do this movie. I'll get you in a movie. And Roddy Piper said, not directed by John Carpenter, you won't, and did the movie anyway.
Fuck yeah. No, and rightfully so, because this movie is, I mean, it's 80s gold. I mean, this is history in the making, and it's something that's crazy that what was that?
I was saying classic Carpenter.
Oh yeah, and he was on the roll. He did
Iron-
all the movies in the 80s leading up to this was like the last big one I think he did. Isn't that correct? So, Dan, what is your history with the movie?
Well, when Piper showed up in WCW, my brother was just like, "Hey, that's the dude from They Live," and I was like, "They Live," and my brother showed it to me when I was a little kid, and I hated horror movies back then. I didn't like anything that made me scared, So like horror movies and pussy were just totally we're just totally not existent. And can I say pussy? Am I allowed to say that?
You can say cunt if you want. I don't care. You say what you want.
Oh, okay. Thought I just broke a rule.
Hell no. We say pussy.
Fuck
we
no.
say it all. So
You can say it, you just can't show it.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
yeah, unless
well.
you're Duck and you accidentally show some titties
Yeah.
on the thing.
Accidentally 6 or 7
allegedly.
times.
Yeah.
Let me just turn off the video since I can't show pussy.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Allegedly.
So this movie holds a special place in your heart. Is that correct? Because of the legend of the man himself.
I mean, yeah, and also it's just a really fucking good movie. It's like the Bill Hicks of horror movies, you know? It's just a lot of social commentary that matched a lot of Bill Hicks's material and everything. Like if you look at it if you watch it from a comedian standpoint, you see a lot of like Bill Hicks jokes in there, basically. But yeah, I mean, I don't even consider it a horror movie. It's just a movie about basically consumerism, you know, and the power of consumerism and shit. That's what makes me love it.
What was that, Jake?
So that's the real horror.
That's the real horror, yeah.
I mean, this movie definitely sticks with you. Will, I can see you down there chomping at the bits. You're not a fan of this movie, I take it? What's your history with it?
Oh, here we go.
Let's see. I saw it when I was maybe a teenager. It's just not good. It's not a good movie. It's first off, it's not a horror movie at all. I don't know why we're watching it on Camp/Horrorcast. It's a thinly veiled action movie with a fake sci-fi thing written over the top of it. I get it. I like the way the aliens or whatever they are look, but the social commentary is so on the nose and like not clever at all. And it's just filled with fucking Evil Dead one-liners that are just bad. It's just bad writing, and I do not like it. And I see Dan, we're getting ready. I see him.
The battle of the ages.
It's not a good movie. It's an hour of build-up for a 6-minute fight. That's what it is.
I have my own theory on what it's a build-up towards, but I want to get to Ethan, who chose this movie. Ethan, you've never seen this before, correct?
Nope. Making me feel real good about my pick there, Uncle Will. Yeah.
Not my uncle. I'll fight you for 6 minutes and 34 seconds.
I've kind of just always seen clips of this off and on throughout my childhood. I think my parents watched it every now and then when it was on TV or something like that. And I will disagree with Will. These aliens freak me the fuck out.
Oh, they're cool looking. I totally agree. They look
scared the shit out of me as a kid. And even while watching this movie today, I was tense the entire time. Granted, the one-liners and stuff like that really kind of took me out of it, but the tension of you don't know who these aliens are, you don't know who's alien, who's human, and they outnumber you. The part where he's standing in the grocery store and all of them are speaking into their watch, dead-eyeing him, walking towards him, calling out his description. No. So I disagree. It's not hard horror like some of the bigger pictures we've watched on this cast already. I still think it's got some horror elements to it. It earns its title as a Carpenter movie.
It's got some cool creatures.
Suck it, Uncle Will.
We're cousins.
And you can come back anytime you like.
Jake, what's your history with the movie?
Grew up watching it, probably 10 years old the first time I saw it, and I like those Carpenter movies anyways. I know they're all schlock. It's not high art by any means, but I love good 80s action movies. So it was one of the ones that I would go to. Like I said, I like Carpenter's work, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, obviously this one, The Thing. The most horror movie they did probably is The Thing, but...
Halloween?
I mean, I'm with Jake on that, though.
Obviously, but I think The Thing is way fucking scarier.
No, it's way scarier. It's way scarier.
Absolutely.
Way scarier. I'm kidding.
Jay, go ahead. Jay, what's your history with the movie?
So it's kind of weird. This was really close to being the first R-rated movie I ever got to see in a theater, but I missed it, and I ended up having to go see, I think it was like Oliver and Company.
You bring that up a lot. That must have been like a really good memory, though.
No, it was close, but I didn't get to. But I did get to see it. Ironically, Dan, I saw this movie before I was a wrestling fan, so I didn't know Roddy Piper was a wrestler. I thought he was an actor, and then I thought he got into wrestling after he started acting.
But were you still captivated by his eyes?
Oh, no, he was. At first, actually, because I saw Big Trouble in Little China before this. Because I was young and stupid, I thought it was Kurt Russell and They Live for a minute. Yeah. But then, I was like, oh, it's Roddy Piper. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was. Yeah, I think for a kid in the 80s, I think it's kind of like, I think kids are kind of like the perfect audience for it. because I don't really consider it that much for adults. To an adult, I consider it, even to maybe a teenager, like maybe like what Will dealt with in the 90s. But like for a kid, it's just kind of fun. I think the older people, I think it is kind of preachy and it is super, super on the nose. But I actually think it's kind of a feat that this movie even got to get made in the 80s during the era of Reaganomics, considering how much censorship could have been. So I thought it was kind of cool that it got to be made.
And I mean, that's the very reason it was made, because he was sick of Reaganomics. He was tired of it, and he wanted to make something that expressed his very on-the-nose social commentary about Reaganomics. But David, how about you? What's your history with this movie?
I was 19 when this movie came out, so I saw it in the theater, and I feel the same way today as I did back then when I saw it. I think this is a very smart, dumb movie. It is a very dumb movie, but it's also got some smart layers to it. I love the social commentary. I love the fight scene, but man, there are so many stupid parts of this movie. I don't. John Carpenter is so. I've got such a weird love-hate relationship with him. Like, I love some of his films, but I absolutely hate some of his other ones. I think The Thing is probably one of the greatest horror sci-fi movies ever made, hands down. But because of the failure of The Thing at the box office, he was never really allowed to have a huge budget and a big picture deal after that, because that movie failed so much. And I would love to see that They Live if it would have been done with a bigger budget. And, and I mean, no offense to your wrestling fans, but, Kurt Russell in this role would have been fantastic.
Don't you think it's the same? It's the exact same story with just, a political statement.
What story is that?
The Thing and this.
No, I don't, because I think the big thing about this story is the idea of seeing beyond the veil. I think that's huge, and being able to see what everything is really saying to you. But yeah, there's so many dumb parts to this movie, but I also think it's probably, it's a classic, even though I think it's a dumb, smart movie, it's still a classic. And, it's inspired so many things. That artist that makes the Obey shirts, that street artist that does that clothing, he was inspired by this. And I think it's also really cool that John Carpenter fed an entire homeless camp and, paid them as extras, actually used real homeless people during the making of it. So I thought that was cool. But no, it's a dumb movie, but it's a smart, dumb movie.
Roddy Piper's fine, but he has two emotions. He's perplexed or he's in pain. That's the only acting that he was able to actually do.
Yeah. I mean, he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler.
Did I upset you at some point this week, Will?
No, not at all.
Why are you attacking my heart?
I'm not attacking you.
See, I have a theory. I have a theory as to how Roddy Piper actually got cast in this movie. I just have my own theory after like kind of like surveilling the wrestling scene. Like in the mid 80s, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan were like the two most marketed individuals in the world. Mm-hmm. And Vince McMahon put all of his stock in this one pay-per-view called WrestleMania. And if it failed, he was not going to have a company anymore. But the good guys are only one part of it. And so he chose this loudmouth Canadian guy named Roddy Piper. And Roddy Piper literally squared off against these two marketing mega giants. And he didn't really like attack him like a lot of like wrestling storylines go. He wasn't like, I'm going for your belt, Hogan. He basically just told them both that he wasn't that impressed with them. And they managed to get years of storylines out of that. So he was anti-establishment in his other career. And so I think it kind of helped kind of give him kind of a baseline for this. I mean, his acting's not great. I'm not defending it, but I do think he brought a little bit of a nuance to it that I kind of like. I really did.
I think he was good. And that's the thing, is the first time I saw this, I was a teenager and my brother was watching it and I was terrified. I didn't know what to expect. And he's like, no, it's cool. And I'm like, no, I can't. Like, what are you talking about? Aliens, sunglasses? None of this makes any sense. And I remember thinking that his acting was really bad, but this watching of it, I didn't think it was quite as bad as I initially thought. I think because I've never seen this movie in its entirety until today. So I've only seen this in bits and pieces, which would be the best bits and pieces, meaning the fight the glasses with all the subliminal messaging, and the titties at the end. So those are the three best parts of the movie. And especially, I really contend that Carpenter made a 90-minute movie so he could make a scene where an alien's getting laid. That's all I feel. I don't know if anything else matters, because at the end of it, it even says in the newscast, directors like John Carpenter using violence and sex to sell movies, and I lost my shit laughing. I was like, "That's fucking great."
Thanks.
Hey,
Ebert reviewing.
Wasn't Carpenter a huge wrestling fan?
I wouldn't know, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
From what I've watched today and read today, he was a fan of wrestling, because that is why he cast Piper in this movie. And he did not want to cast Kurt Russell again after doing 3 movies with him already. So he was like, I need to change it up. And Piper had a lot of influence on this movie, because they based this on a short story Ethan sent us all earlier, which I did read, and it's pretty darn close. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dan.
I did not get this short story.
Okay, well, you can look it up. I found it online with just like a 2-minute Google search.
It's a short story. Just tell me. It's a short story.
it's the fucking movie.
The guy gets hypnosis, and when he wakes up, he can see aliens among us. There's no sunglasses or anything.
Either way, it's called 8 o'clock in the morning. It's by Ray Nelson, and it predates this movie by about 25 years or so. And they copied a lot over from it. Hey. Even the guy's name, what was it? George Nada. I want to say, yeah. And the one thing they never named in the movies is I don't think anywhere they gave a name to the alien creatures, where in the short story they did.
Fascinators. Something like that.
Fascinators, or, if you pronounce it Fascinators, that's fine.
I don't know. I caught it. I did Fascinators.
He stole his punchline, man. He was building up to that. And you're just like, Fascinators!
I'm a terrible audience member. I apologize. I got super excited because when I read it in the short story, I was like, Fascinators!
It was a good short story. It was really good. And it's the same thing. It reflects a lot of that social commentary of media and marketing and all these things control your lives. And it
did it in 6 pages.
Yeah. There's also a graphic novel they did too, which is I looked it up and it had some cool. It looked really, really cool.
Yes, the graphic novel was named Nada, and then Roddy Piper thought, is it Roddy or Rowdy? Why do I keep saying it's Rowdy?
It's Rowdy. You can call him Roddy. You can call him Rowdy.
If you want to get his Christian name is Manuel.
Manuel had said he thought this was based on an actual mockumentary that was made in the 70s. I can't remember what the name of it was, but basically it was a documentary about how consumerism was destroying us and how the commercials and TV had convinced, or through subliminal messaging, had convinced this woman to buy dog food, and she didn't have a dog until the day he died. He contested that this was a real documentary.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It was something project, right? It was
the Brunswick project?
Brunswick
project.
Brunswick,
that's what it was.
It looked real. It looked legit. But even though it was fake, it was telling the truth.
Yes. I mean, that's the one thing about this movie that's always stuck with me. Whenever he looks at the money and it says, "This is your God."
Yeah.
That has always stuck with me.
So good.
That was
right on the nose.
Yes.
And who would have thought the internet would have made it worse?
Yeah. But we're probably going to be seeing a change in that soon. With that said, let's talk about the movie a little bit. David, you brought up earlier that the movie begins with a homeless, encampment, and that was a real homeless encampment that he paid for 3 weeks so that they had payment or they had money.
They could bulldoze it in the film.
I had to make it authentic, man. It had to be authentic.
I never even thought of that.
Dude, they weren't union.
They did that shit.
We're gonna feed you. We're gonna rip
over all of your shit.
I don't think he was feeding him. I think he was basically giving him like a 3-week warning, like, "Hey, you might want to hit
You're
the
getting
road."
out of here for cinematography, my friend.
I heard the food down in Sacramento is like really good, and you should really check it out.
He's speaking in code because he can't legally say what he's gonna do to their homes. Like, you guys might want to be out of here at 3:00 Thursday.
Unless y'all really want to be part of this movie, like in a way that you did not see coming.
He didn't even give him a warning. They just came in with the bulldozer.
And like the sheer fear on all their faces, and like Carpenter's like, you
That wasn't
cannot,
Film it.
you
Film it.
cannot,
Raw
you
footage.
can't buy this. You can't buy this.
Raw
This is
footage
gold.
of hobo tears.
He's got one of those old crank cameras.
Hobo Tears should be the name of the sequel to They Live.
I mean, but he is a drifter, and he's supposed to be an everyman. And that the actual what was cool is the behind the scenes of it is Carpenter never came up with a backstory for the character Nada. Actually, the character's not even supposed to have a name, but I guess it is John. But basically, he went to Piper and he said, "Listen, you come up with the backstory. That'll be it, and you're the only one who needs to know it." So he took that to his grave with him. R.I.P. But he came up with an extensive backstory. He did the work that a lot of actors do, but he wasn't an actor. And Keith David was actually the one who was able to help him kind of get through it. And boy, does he kill it in this movie.
Keith David is amazing.
Oh my
In
God.
everything he does.
And he's in everything.
He's in every video game.
Yeah.
He's in books. I believe I saw him on a hieroglyphic from Egypt.
Yep.
He is in everything.
What's the greatest Keith David line of all time?
The Fries line from Men at
My
Work.
wife.
Nope. From Requiem for a Dream. Well, it ain't gonna blow itself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Ass.
Oh.
Well,
Everyone
Actually,
just took a dark turn.
well, it ain't gonna blow itself. I'm Keith David.
Not to be the actually guy, but
Uh-oh.
what he actually said was,
like
"I
itself.
didn't take it out for air."
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I guess I've just been Bernstein bared myself.
Maybe you read the novelization.
Yeah. Nah, it was the graphic novel. It was the flip book version. I was so confident too, wasn't I? I was like, "What's the greatest line?"
There's a lot of confidence
all
behind those
time.
words, man.
It's not a line. That's not a line he ever said. So thanks,
It looked like you had that line in your head for like an hour. And you were just waiting.
He
Yeah.
had it loaded. He was ready to go.
Well, I was actually going to watch Requiem for a Dream again to get the line right, but then I remembered that movie made me feel like shit for 2 months. So I was like,
that's
nah,
great.
That's what that movie does.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Ass to ass.
Will was so
It's
salty about the
yes.
fact that this wasn't a horror movie. I mean,
Honestly, I think They Live is like Whataburger. Like if you grew up with it, you don't know how mediocre it really is.
Bro,
Yeah.
I can put that on the tag.
I didn't come on this podcast to be insulted. And all I have been is insulted.
we will take
It's a
turns
sci-fi
out.
movie, right?
Dan.
It's just sci-fi. It's not horror. It's sci-fi.
It's
Yeah.
definitely
Right?
sci-fi.
It is listed as
It's-
sci-fi horror.
It's thin sci-fi, even at that.
There's
But
fucking aliens. You can't get more sci-fi than that.
I disagree. It's definitely not thin sci-fi. It's just not very good sci-fi.
It's thin horror.
It's
Starting
definitely
to turn them
sci-fi.
around. They're starting to come to my side.
Well, I just want to know what the budget was on the effect of the guy disappearing when he would touch his Apple Watch, because that effect was amazing. Holy shit.
That was literally cut. All right, go to your trailer. And
And the sound effect was like from 1963 Star Trek.
well, Jake did bring up the Thing earlier too, and there's something about the effects work in the Thing versus the effect work here. While the design of the aliens is highly iconic, and I think it's based upon the mutant from This Island Earth. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's based upon that. But other than
Turkey.
that, the masks don't seem to work. It's very, it's very weird.
Yeah.
It was the same guy. It was actually the guy who did the
Stunt
choreography for this. Yeah, the stunt work for the fight scene. Who was the guy who wore it over and over and over again. But
Wow.
is it scary? Is the question. I think when I was a kid, it was. I think that the design terrified me. Somebody said earlier the blank-eyed stare of the bug-like creatures, just the blankness, and it's iconic looking. And it's whenever you first see it, and the guy's like, "What's your problem?" Then he walks away and he turns and he looks back. There's something very creepy about seeing that dead-eyed face staring, that skull alien staring back at you. And I think it works. And the thing I didn't understand was, why was he so immediately racist against the fucking aliens? Because immediately he just went on like a, you know what I mean? Like he's just like, they're not us, and just
To
went after
his
them.
credit, there is a whole bunch of propaganda around him saying, obey, go and produce children, stay asleep. money is your god.
Well,
you know, that's
yeah,
probably
how
not
should
He
there
sees
by
that
you.
first before he sees the aliens, and then
Yeah.
you see the aliens. You're like, "Oh fuck, it's these people."
Well,
this is what it has to be.
One commentary I've heard about the aliens themselves is that this is one of the few times where the aliens do not come across as like physically superior to the humans. As a matter of fact, like some would even say that they're actually afraid of the humans. That's why they have to disguise themselves, because they're actually quite weak. They go down pretty quick, and it's literally as opposed to like the Thing or Alien. Like they're not intimidating. They're not.
And that's what's so fascinating about it is the way they control us is by money.
That's how they know to get us. Like they're like, okay, we can't attack these people head on, but we can. It's like a perimeter defense. Yeah,
It's all up here.
Where were you saying, Jake?
I was going to say, whenever they put on the glasses, he even said it's like it gives you a high. So I was wondering how he was able to hear the sounds coming out of the TV, the different reports with just looking through glasses. But I guess it does something that affects their brains where they can catch on pretty quick what the fuck's going on. So,
Well, and then that thing that was spinning around saying sleep, Lindsay brought that up. She's like, how can you hear that?
He was really
Right, and I was
tripping balls.
Well, he shot it. He shot it also, and he ducked out of cover like it was going to fall on him, but then nothing dropped also. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Tripping balls.
I mean, but that is the other thing. He said that when you have the glasses on for a period of time, it is very much. He said it's like a drug. You know, it's all consuming. But like we don't realize, and I guess once again it's on the head. But like we are constantly bombarded by advertising. You know, even just looking around right now, I'm wearing Marvel. Jay's wearing Old Navy. Jake's got Baby Yoda. Ethan's got a hat on that says something. Lord only knows. Death Row Records right there. That's what I'm saying. We are constantly hit with advertising to the point where we are numb to it. So to see it so on the head, it really does affect you in the same sense. What are you thinking, Ethan?
I'm laughing that you couldn't read my hat.
I can't read it, dude. Can anyone else read it? No.
Dream hack.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Live, Nate.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like I always wear clothing that advertises nerdy shit, but you know it's just one of those things that I've gotten used to it. You know, I like doing that, but we are constantly advertising. We are constantly throwing up the drugs that feed the addiction, especially of our nerdism. Go ahead, Ethan.
We got a question from one of our viewers right now. Exterminate 1022 wants to know, Dan Danzy, are you wearing pants?
I am wearing pants. I am. Yeah, you fucking confess it once during your stream, and then everybody's gonna ask you if you're wearing pants. There was like a couple times when I was streaming where I wasn't wearing pants because I figured, well, why the fuck not? You know?
Yeah.
I admitted it one time, and
I think I'd rather just take your word on that one.
I've actually got some cool,
that's
like
fine.
Captain America
Sure.
Falcon tight pants on. I swear to God, I do. I'll show it.
No, that's fine. I
gotta get like a
believe
step
you,
stool
man.
though. I gotta get a step stool and climb on it so you can see the pants.
So yeah, about this movie, I'm trying to steer it back, but from everyone who's not wearing pants on here, which I guarantee no one want to admit to it, but like it might be me. But here's the thing: this movie, is it good? When Will said it's so on the nose, I have to kind of agree with him that all of the messaging is so on the nose, and then everything else is just him going on a rampage for 60 minutes, which I don't quite understand the motivation of the rampage, even though you guys kind of explained it to me. I guess I'm just used to consuming. So why is there a love interest in this movie out of nowhere too? Is this because this
so
movie needs a
annoying.
case of the not gays? Is that what's going on? Go ahead,
You
Dan.
know,
Yeah.
I rewatched that last night because I remembered there being a love interest or whatever, and I don't think it's so much of a love interest as it is. She has a lot of layers to her. She basically no.
What movie did you watch?
From a writing standpoint, it wasn't portrayed well in the movie, but like she wants Roddy Piper to be the savior of the world and stuff. But it seemed from her character she'd been let down before, and she was just so like, fuck it about it that, you know, she backstabs Roddy Piper and everything because, you know, she ultimately thinks the aliens are going to win anyhow. But she wants Roddy Piper to be that figure and everything. But, you know,
Can y'all think of
completely
any
disagree
movie?
with that.
Can y'all think of any movie where Meg Foster actually had a love interest in it?
No. She's always been just stand still and open your eyes and look at your beautiful blue eyes and don't have emotion.
She's extremely striking, but like she's like Dan, I think you'd agree. She's like a career heel. Like she could not play a good guy to save her life. Evil Lynn and He-Man, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Girl.
Perfect. But yeah, like I thought her casting was the worst because she's so cold. She's not warm at all.
And you know she's the bad guy. There's no shock when she screws him over at the end. You know she's working for him.
Fucking window. They gave her superhuman strength. Also.
That was
a cool
hilarious.
shot. That shot, the camera above, it was like a taxi driver type of shot. It was really cool.
Yeah, I really dug that. But like, I don't understand why he's running around at the end of the movie going, "Holly, we got to find Holly." It's like, who gives a fuck about Holly?
It was like they cut out a half an hour of the two of them falling in love.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden they had this relationship where he felt the need to find her, and I'm like, why? It was very confusing.
So what I see from it is like he always looks for Holly at that part because like the time before they're talking at like the little homeless encampment or the little meeting between the rebel, and then boom, they get attacked, they explode, and that's the last he sees of her. And he's already gone on this psychotic rampage and shit, but now he cares about something because it was just right in front of him. So that's why I think he's looking for Holly to make sure she's not dead, to go to the TV station, all that shit. I always thought it was based on the fact that, yeah, he likes her, but they also just like blew up together.
Yeah, she hit him in the back of the fucking head and threw him out a window. Why does he like her?
That's old shit.
No.
That's that old shit.
Because, man,
He's bringing up the past.
that's like, no, like he's a really tough guy and he met his match. I get it.
Oh, and by the way, how does nobody recognize him at the end when he's wearing the exact same fucking clothes he's been wearing this entire rampage? And he's in that giant room.
Maybe he was the new Brawny guy. Maybe that's what they thought.
By the way, nice ass, Roddy. Very tight ass. Very tight.
One of the best asses in wrestling.
And like I said in the chat, this is just a allegory on forbidden interracial man love because the two of them were definitely fucking.
Oh, dude, they were playing gay chicken this entire fucking movie.
One room.
I mean, that's why they had her, so that this movie would have a case of the not gays. And other than that, like it's like obviously there was something going on. Why would he follow him around? Why would that, why would these two characters, like there's a moment when the camp is getting attacked and he goes, "Frank," and I'm like, right there, gay chicken. They're playing it right there. Like it's
that scene I sent you guys when Roddy when he says hey, there's a place that has showers and Roddy's got his shirt off and
he just stares at him.
He stares at him and just throws his hands through his hair. I am not shitting you when I tell you Lindsay walked in and said, "Are you watching gay porn?" Like that is. And there was no judgment. She was just like, "I just need to know, that's fine. I just want to know." And I was like, "No, it's a sci-fi movie." And she was like, "Okay, well, it looks like gay porn." I was like, okay.
Well, and then on top of that, he kind of creeps on Frank to this homeless shelter. He follows him without saying a fucking word.
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
What the fuck, dude? And he turns around. "Why are you following me?" "Because I want to know where you're going before I trust you."
Technically, he did
like
the construction site tap underneath the stall where he's like, "Hey, there's a homeless encampment down the road. Do you want to come join me down there?" And so, but yeah, the love interest makes no sense, and it totally fucks him over in the end. I mean, but other than that, there's not a lot of storyline in this movie. Can you guys
It's a smart, dumb movie.
It seemed
very
like
linear. Very linear.
It seemed like the first chapter of what was going to be like an epic trilogy. Had the movie like been a success, there could have been a sequel that carried on the whole story. Kind of like when you see Cloverfield, and then you're just like, "Oh, that's cool," and then more Cloverfields come out, and you're like, "Why?" Someone agreed with me. But that's what it felt like to me. It felt like the first chapter of a much greater story, and it just never got made because it wasn't popular enough.
I was wondering if this movie is V. Remember V from back in the day?
I remember V.
Oh, the TV show? Yeah.
Yeah.
V came out before. Yeah.
V is a much better version of this, I think. V is like
V was a TV series. If
Mhm.
I think if They Live got that many episodes to kind of flesh it out, I think it could have been as good as V.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen this story from the perspective of the church and the scientists that came up with the glasses and like their whole process, you know.
Yeah.
Because they were barely touched, you know. They were barely
Someone
touched.
had to snap out of that like brainwashing first and not have those glasses or something.
Yeah. Like when did it start? When was the first person to realize, oh, if I layer these things together and make glasses, how can I see this? You know, I would have liked to have seen that story too. Did you guys notice Jason Robards the third in this movie?
Now, who's that?
Jason Robards is an old actor from the 50s and 60s. His grandson was in it. He was the homeless guy with the daughter in the homeless camp. So, Will, help me out. You're the other old guy in the cast. Do you remember Jason Robards?
He's like, dude, I ain't never.
Will's just like, I hate this fucking movie.
Yeah, he's the guy from The Day After,
just hate
right?
this
Yeah, The Day After. There you go.
I'm confused that you just said you want more of this movie.
What I'm
It's
saying
an
is,
interesting world, though.
that's the story I would have liked. Not
It's
more.
an Outer Limits episode at best.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it does have an outer
Disagree?
limits
Would
deal.
not disagree at all.
Yeah.
I'm with Dan on this one, man. It's
choke
an
you.
interesting world. I like the aliens. I want to see more of what they're doing kind of behind the scenes. I want to see what the Resistance did building up to the sunglasses, the contacts, all that stuff. And this is only in like LA or whatever city they're in here. What's going on in the rest of the world? Because this is global, not just one small city. Show me what else is going on.
That's why it felt like like there were going to be sequels to me after
You could have had it. This could have been a TV show for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, it is funny that the smallest gun brought down the entire alien race at the very end when he shot that tiny little gun into that laser box.
Jake had to
We
dip.
lose Jake?
He's got audio issues going on his side,
Okay.
so he had to dip. Sorry. But yeah, what were we saying? I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that it was funny how the tiniest gun ever brought down the entire alien invasion.
Oh, dude, the fact that they were pulling guns out of everywhere was cracking me up. And when he grabbed the gun out of the fucking police car and I was like, get it, right on. And when he goes into we got to talk about
into a bank.
We opened it up by saying the most epic line of this movie, but we've got to say it again. It's I've come. What is the line? Shoot, now I can.
I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
There it is. Boom. I mean,
And
Ripped it off
that was
and,
a Roddy Piper line, right? And that
Yes.
it was
That was an
notebook
ad
and-
lib line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dazed and
and-
Confused ripped it off a few years later.
Duke Nukem did in
Duke
the
Nukem
90s.
did, yeah.
I used it definitely, and it's one of those things where it makes no sense in the context of the movie why you would say that. I ain't seen this man chew
Actually,
bubble gum at all.
fun fact. The best place to chew gum, banks. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah.
If you don't know that, that's your fault.
I mean, but he goes into that bank and he just starts tearing the place up, and that's why I was like, "What is with this guy?" And like, just killing
He's
these
just on
aliens.
an alien murdering rampage, man.
Oh,
He
okay.
is awake. He can
Did-
see.
I think
Did
he
you notice
snapped.
though? Did you notice before that happened, the background noise? People kept, I get the TV and stuff. They kept on talking about people going on murder rampages and robbing banks. Did you guys catch that?
No,
Yeah.
I did not. Subliminal messaging. See, I was missing it while watching the movie. I was just
Piper
going,
didn't take any money. That's the thing. Like he just killed everybody and just like
Yeah.
left the vault. I was like, well, no, hold on. It is your god. Go get it. Like
yeah.
free shit.
I mean, I like the scene before that too, where they're showing just like how integrated it is. Like the aliens are getting their hair did, and they're in the shopping center grabbing some apples and shit like that, and just like everything. I absolutely fucking love that. But also, it was showing little ways, the different ways that they were being promoted, or they were getting extra money, or stuff like that. And then at the end, when you have the guy who was part of the encampment, and then he was.
He's wearing
He's
a
part of
fucking
them at the
suit and
end.
tie. He was
Yeah.
one
He
of their
sold them out.
high-ranking people.
Are you talking about George Buck Flower?
Hell
who that
yeah.
was?
John Carpenter mainstay?
He
Mhm.
became a senator at the end. It was very weird.
Is that what it was? Or
No,
it was
no,
a
no,
joke?
I'm just-
I literally didn't know what was going on. I was like, maybe he was.
He's a U.S. congressman now.
Yeah.
The amount this movie has so many ridiculous, like so lucky to be there. Like the fact that he runs into Meg Foster, who happens to work at the cable place, the fact that they run into their homeless camp buddy in the tunnels so he can show them around. The amount of luck that has to play into this is another reason why this is a really dumb movie.
Not to mention, there's a fuck ton of plot armor.
Yeah, cool.
I thought I was coming on this podcast and we were all agreeing how legendary this movie is. And
I love this movie.
Dude, it's legendary.
I'm just taken back right now by Will and David.
I seriously think, here's the thing, I think every single one of you guys is right. Like this is the first time
Finally,
where
somebody said it.
everybody's opinion of this movie is right. It's a classic. Yep. It's shitty Outer Limits episode. Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can't disagree with any of y'all.
You can't say you didn't enjoy yourself watching the movie, you know. Will?
I can say that. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I don't have a starstruck thing for Roddy Piper. I used to love him as a kid.
That's not even why I love the movie.
But I mean, it's so boring. And then the fight scene is so boring.
No. Funny.
No offense. Well, I thought you kind of liked some movies that were boring. I thought that was kind of like
I do.
You like that slow burn kind of like boring,
but not this
thing.
one. This one doesn't do it.
Let me ask you something.
This one can't be boring. I got you.
Would you agree? Would you agree?
Well, it's not like I'm going to meet any of these people.
I got a big surprise for you, Will. Come on in here, Keith David.
It ain't gonna blow itself.
I didn't take it out for it. It didn't take it out for air.
I didn't take it out for it not to breathe.
No, look, there's
line
a difference.
Ever.
If something does a good slow burn, this is not an on purpose slow burn. This is not at all on purpose. This dude is desperately trying to make this action movie, and it falls so flat.
See, that's what I thought. See, Will, I actually thought your biggest critique of this movie would be that I think that, this is what I pictured Will saying. Like, John Carpenter was trying to be halfway Ed Wood and halfway Lloyd Kaufman and fails at both points. Because it's kind of like a trauma movie that falls flat, and it's like an Ed Wood movie that falls flat. It's not a good, shitty sci-fi movie, and it's not a good, shitty schlock movie. And so
it is middle of the road.
Yeah, so it never really hits the zenith for you.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the wrestling movie that Roddy Rowdy was offered to not do this movie?
No Holds Barred.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he already did Body Slam, which was amazing, where he was quick Rick Roberts with Dirk Benedict.
So what is his claim to fame other than this movie? Like, he was just an epic wrestler? I don't know.
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
To most
big
people,
personality.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
He is considered the greatest talker in wrestling history, better than The Rock ever was. Like he was what most people would call wrestling's first anti-hero.
Yes.
Like without him, there is no Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like he was the first like true anti-establishment guy, and like that's kind of what. And I'll tell you, he did a lot of things that were super edgy in wrestling. He had very racially charged feuds.
Okay, so like,
he had a couple of them.
You know that WrestleMania where he comes out half blackface, half body?
Bad News Brown, WrestleMania 6, yep.
That's actually Andre the Giant ribbed him. He didn't wear that on purpose.
And he couldn't take it off.
He couldn't take it off. No, Andre the Giant put oil on, gave Roddy Piper some oil.
Like primer,
he knew that he knew the blackface stuff would stay on. So Andre the Giant wanted him to go out there looking like an asshole.
Roddy is lucky in the fact that he died when he did, because he would totally be crucified and canceled now.
Oh yeah, he'd be canceled for sure. He'd be absolutely canceled for sure. But he has a memorable episode on It's Always Sunny. So if you call him a bad actor, you just got to go to that episode of It's Always Sunny, because
30 years later. Okay,
I'm gonna choke you. But I know your address.
It's one of the best episodes of Always Sunny, in my opinion. That one's hilarious, and he is great in it.
Yeah, he's absolutely hilarious. And he appears in another episode, too, I think, in the timeshare episode. But Roddy Piper is just became part of pop culture with They Live and wrestling and everything.
Ronda Rousey took his moniker and had to get his permission.
Yeah, I kind of wish that didn't happen, but
what did he die of?
Colon cancer. Colon cancer.
I read earlier hypertension. So it was
Yeah, he
just-
died. He was so sudden. It wasn't like wasn't a slow death.
So he survived the colon cancer and died of something else?
No, I think
Why
what
did your voice
eventually
get
killed
so
him was-
high pitched there, Dan? That was very confusing. So he didn't
No
die of
idea.
colon cancer. He died of
Nah, it was blood pressure. It wasn't the official. It wasn't the nail.
Okay.
Wasn't the 3 count. Oh God, I'm done.
Oh, damn.
Colon cancer is like the 2 count.
I gotta tell you though, it is pretty cheesy to watch that badass fight scene and then to see the wrestling moves in it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, guys.
Well, let's talk about the fight scene because we kind
got
of talked
to.
around it, but we've got to talk about that fight scene because I know Will wasn't a fan, but I am a fan. I think it is a great 6 minutes of cinema. Ethan, seeing it for the first
I
time.
fucking love the fight scene. It's so good. It psychs you out at least 2 or 3 times. They're sitting there just talking, huffing, puffing, covered in blood and bruises. And then Roddy will throw another punch. Or Frank will just come and tackle him or something like that. It just keeps going on and on and on. And it was just, I was dying of laughter the whole time. So
If there's a battery drop moment, it's when he puts on the glasses, but the true battery drop of this movie is got to be the fight scene. And then after that, you just coast into the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
my favorite battery drop scene is the one Ethan talked earlier where they're in the grocery store and they all take up their watches and they're staring at them. That, even watching it over the weekend, that still creeped me out. That's a super creepy scene.
Right.
But the thing about the fight scene was I loved how at the end when they're walking into the hotel, they're all bloody and swollen. And then like 2 scenes later, there's no,
yeah,
they're not
they're like
swollen at
fine.
all. Yeah, they're totally fine. Wait, what? That was quick.
Do you think the intended purpose of that scene, Ethan, was to make you laugh?
It shouldn't have been. Probably
I'm not
not.
liking you today, Will.
It felt like they were actually very seriously trying to act and choreograph a fight scene that was supposed to be tense, but it did not have that effect.
Oh, it's
whatsoever.
fun.
I don't know. I mean, I thought most people consider it to be one of the greatest fight scenes in movie
Absolutely.
history.
They recreated it on
is.
South Park.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like it's
a
like
great fight scene.
it's
but
like
overkill.
it's like yeah, it is overkill. But like I kind of like the fact that they kind of start fighting real dirty at the end.
Yeah.
So like when he starts racking him, which is a term you don't hear that often, but racking him.
Yeah.
But like that's the kind of stuff like in high school, like in middle school. I mean, did any of y'all ever get into fights in middle school?
Yeah.
Like you weren't supposed to go for the nuts, but if you thought you were going to lose,
You went for the nuts.
you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in the
Well,
gay chicken kind of way, but in a
my best move fighting in high school was falling on the ground and growing into a fetal position and peeing myself. That works all the time.
Tried and true.
And you know what? Talking about the fight scene, it just goes back to how dumb this movie is. Because if the only thing people talk about the movie is the fight scene, it's probably not a good movie. You know, this is probably the thing that only everyone's talking about is a cool fight scene. It's not a good movie.
But
Pretty
you know
dumb.
what? They don't just talk about that. They talk about the scene where he puts on the glasses for the first time.
Yeah,
and they,
you're right.
And
That's
they
a cool
talk,
scene.
And the bubblegum line.
and with the bubblegum line. And we also
All the
talk
lines.
the
All the
ending.
lines.
All the lines.
It is a
ending.
one-liner mecca, that's for sure. I
Well-
apologize. I rescind my comment.
And you said something and you said something about the wrestling moves being in the fight. This is actually one of the only movies where the wrestling moves where the director naturally puts them in the fight. So like there's a belly to back drop, but it only happens because Keith David kicks off the wall while Piper's holding him like that and they fall back into a belly to back. If you watch like Blade, they're just like fucking doing wrestling moves like
Suplexes.
It
suplexes,
felt really
Hurricane
nice.
And The
Rana.
Rock. The Rock can't do a movie without giving somebody a rock bottom. It doesn't matter. In San
It
Andreas,
could be a fucking Pixar movie and you'll still rock bottom.
in San Andreas, I think he gave that tidal wave the people's elbow at some point.
But I also like the fact that he picks up the piece of wood too and starts going after him. And when he smashes out the window, he's like, "I'm sorry, like this has gone too far."
That
Like
made
I
me
thought
laugh
that
out
was
loud.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
Well, it makes sense because he wasn't trying to like damage the guy's car. And from
He
Keith
just
David's,
wants him to wear the fucking glasses.
and Keith David's perspective is this dude just shot up a bank. Like, of course this is gonna have a fight because like he won't leave him alone. And Keith David thinks like,
Yeah,
oh, this
why-
guy's just killing everybody.
Why did he bring him the money? He knew that he was a murderer. He's like, "Here's your cash." Like,
He
No,
thought
that
he
is
was
true.
coming to him for help.
He does just
Oh,
kind
that
of
was
help
how
him
about-
her out on his
him. They're
You better-
lovers.
Yeah,
That
you
was
better go
his
somewhere where they
attempt to
pray they
say-
never find you.
Dude,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
You
That
were
was his
nice to
attempt
me at the construction site once. Here you go.
You're nice
Here's
to
some
me for
money,
an hour.
murderer.
Go away.
That's freaking awesome, though. So yeah, So we head towards the end of the movie, and
Plot
things
Armor City.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that gunfight at the end. There's a point where Han Solo holds a fucking AR, and he's just...
Do that again.
Please do that again.
Someone make a gif out of that, please. I need an Ethan Gunn gif.
I mean,
oh god, I need that.
I mean, but it literally becomes like an exposition dump at the end where you learn nothing.
Yeah.
After the fight, like the movie really does nothing. But it is the one thing it does interesting is the hero dies. All the heroes die. Well, both the heroes, I guess I should say. But I thought that was really cool that that's the way they end it. And like I said, it becomes a 90-minute excuse to show a woman fucking an alien. I can't, ever since I was a kid, I couldn't help but to feel that ending was just like he had that in his head. And he's like, how do I get there? How do I get to this ending?
What is the natural progression to this?
How do I make a 90-minute movie to tell the critics to go fuck themselves because I don't like anything I made, and so I can show off some titties and have them like it just.
That's why I always enjoyed the ending. It's the only ending where you get titties.
Oh yeah, I mean I like the ending of the movie though because what happens afterwards? What does a TV series look like based upon this? Do they make a remake of this? What does that look like? Does that even work? Or is this movie a product of its time? Is it a product of the 1980s and it only exists there?
It's worse now, man. You could make this movie now, and instead of the cable company, it would be the internet, and it would still work.
You could still continue this movie too off of this one because all they did was take out the satellite dish on the TV studio. They didn't take out the actual satellite that was broadcasting to the rest of the world. Yeah. All they got to do is power that shit back on.
Okay, I do have an issue with that. What if the power goes out? And then all of a sudden, everyone can see aliens. Like, what was the backup plan for that satellite?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
See how long you can integrate. See how many people you can kill and take over, and then go from there.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how was a sequel never made to this since it was so popular and did really well at the box office?
It didn't do amazing at the box office.
It only did well in the North American box office for just a matter of weeks. But actually, from a critic standpoint, it was trashed by the critics. I think people just went out and saw it because it was a John Carpenter movie, and that's what kept it number one at a couple of weeks. But back in 1988, this was considered a bad movie.
Yeah, after this, John Carpenter went straight to TV. Mm-hmm. He did an anthology series in '93 called Body Bags, which is really good. And then he did In the Mouth of Madness. Yeah, and then he did. Well, I actually thought I think Body Bags was what he wanted to do with Halloween the whole time. So when it went to TV, he kind of got to do what he wanted. And after that, he did just a couple more, big studio films. He did, I think, In the Mouth of Madness. He did that horrendous sequel to Escape from New York. And then he did Vampires, which I think is one of John Carpenter's most underrated movies. I really love that one. But
Vampires
after that,
is the shit. That
so
movie good.
But after that, I think it was pretty much, that was, and Ghost of Mars. Oh God. But yeah, he just was really never the same. I think you hit on the head, Dave. Like after The Thing, I don't think he ever really, really recovered from that creatively.
And it's a shame too, because right now The Thing is considered a classic.
So is this. This is at 86% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah, but when they came out, you were right. He was bashed, and especially The Thing, man, because that was a movie that he had a 6-picture deal with the company. I forget what company put it out. But he had a 6-picture deal set up after The Thing, and it bombed so bad, they were like, nope, they dropped him. And then it was really hard for him to get a shit ton of money to do movies again. And it's a shame because I would have loved to have seen what he could have done with a large budget and with quality actors and writers and all that kind of stuff.
I think if this had a big budget, there wouldn't be anyone in this chat right now that would hate this movie, Will. So if
does it have the same script?
Like if you have a bigger budget, you can hire a better script writer.
Oh, then it doesn't have the same script. You might be right. Yeah. So if this movie was written differently and acted differently and had more money, it might be good.
No, you keep Roddy Piper in there, you son of a bitch.
I'm just asking you a question.
I think this movie's great as is. I
It's
loved
fine.
it.
It's 100% a product of the 80s. It has over masculine dudes fighting each other.
It's
It has
80s
tits for no reason. Like, it's super 80s.
Those
And I
tits
totally
had
get
a
it.
reason.
There's no reason. It has zero. In
It's
fact,
got George
the
Buckflower.
boobs bother me more than anything in this movie. There was zero need for that. Like,
And they're
none.
not good boobs. They're not
Why are
good
you
boobs.
so upset by that?
Rant.
Because it's just like he had to fill it in. But I do very much like the whole news thing that y'all mentioned, where he was calling himself out along with was it Wes Craven, I think?
Yeah, Wes Craven.
And that was good. So I get like the irony of him putting the boobs in it. Whoever it was, I don't know who it was.
It was Romero.
Oh, Romero.
Yes,
You're
George
right. Sorry.
Romero, thank you. Yeah. I
was
get the
wrong
irony
again.
of it, but again, it was just I don't know.
It's a fun movie.
I would like
for Sister Williams.
All right, let's break it down. Okay, real quick. Recommend, don't recommend. Let's talk about it. Jay, what do you think? Recommend or don't recommend?
Yeah, absolutely, totally recommend.
Okay, Dan.
Because I think everyone's got an opinion about this movie. I don't know anyone who's truly indifferent about this movie at any time.
I'm gonna pick a tail off that. I'm with Jay. This movie across the board, everything that was said was correct about it. Whether you love it or you hate it, you can find middle ground anywhere on this because it's just everyone's right. So I personally think it's a great movie. I 100% recommend it. I think everyone needs to watch it at least once in their life. Deal with the on-the-nose social commentary and just enjoy the crazy chewing bubblegum kicking assness of it. So Dan, what do you think? Recommend or don't recommend?
I'd recommend for the social commentary on it, show it to a friend who spends a lot of time at the mall or whatever, going and shopping and spending money. Show it to a friend like that has a problem spending. And I think it'll have an influence because of its commentary.
Will.
And no, don't go to him next.
Yeah, he's going totally next. Will, recommend or don't recommend?
I'm going to say, just like I did Child's Play, I don't really recommend the movie, but I do love the iconography of it. I do love the aliens. I think they're great, and I think they deserve a spot in the history of kind of a horror.
Fuck yeah. Jessup, what do you think? Recommend or don't recommend?
Yeah, I recommend it, definitely. It's I think it's a classic. It's a classic 80s film, and I definitely recommend it. I still think it's a stupid movie, but I will definitely recommend it. And I wish I had some really good quotes to tell you, but I'm sure they'd be wrong. So I'm just going to make them up.
Got to read them novelizations.
It ain't going to blow itself.
Yeah. It's not going to blow itself if it doesn't take itself out of the shower. Oh, man, what an amazing line that was by Keith David or David Keith.
I'm here for shooting people and drinking milk. And
I'm lactose intolerant.
It's on my T-shirt.
Ethan,
Fucking hate myself.
It was your birthday pick. How do you feel about your birthday pick?
Oh, happy birthday!
Yes.
2 thumbs up for me. I love this movie. I thought it was creepy. It was tense up until the middle part when it became an 80s action movie. And I will definitely be watching this one again. It's not super scary. The aliens are kind of creepy. It has some good moments where it's really kind of a little creepy. Still a little bit of that childhood horror coming back to haunt me. But it is 2 thumbs up for me. Watch this fucking movie. Watch it.
Fucking right on. All right.
And happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ethan. Well, how old are you, bud?
I will be 23 on Friday.
Oh, fuck
nice.
you. Fuck you.
Nice.
Okay, well, it was nice having you for your wonderful.
I'm so young, I hate you.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And don't forget to join our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And don't forget to join our Discord. All links can be found in the description. The next segment of the podcast will be clips from the movie. So if you would like to see that, head over to our Twitch at twitch.tv /We Are Podcast for the full video stream. And with that, back to the Horrorcast.
All right, guys.
We got to watch it again.
Yeah, we got to watch it again. It's time for clips. We need a clip song. Clip. She doesn't give a fuck.
Last place of employment.
She didn't give a fuck.
Is this the lady from Beetlejuice?
Worked there for 10 years.
Kind of looks like her.
That's the librarian from Ghostbusters.
That's actually Nancy Pelosi.
Lost 14 days.
That's the
Fun
Lady
fact.
Gremlin from Gremlins 2, the 2 badge.
That's my.
The crazy preacher.
Preeka.
They have recruited the rich and the powerful, and they have blinded us to the truth.
Oh, good. The bass line.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Spirit is corrupted.
Oh, and we also have to talk about the Ghostbuster tech.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's
Did
right.
you get any clips of the PKE?
I did not get the PKE.
Oh, yeah.
For
The
time
PKE, yeah.
constraints, I didn't put it in
Yeah,
there. But
they were
David
using
said-
that thing like a fucking walkie-talkie. The aliens were. They had the
I
fucking
was
lights
watching
going
it.
and everything.
I'm like, guys, have you not seen Ghostbusters? This is not how this works.
Mm.
But I thought he used it more of like an homage. I think it was just tongue in cheek. I
It
think
did
he-
look. It kind of came off as he broke into the Ghostbusters prop box
Yeah.
on the set on the studio lot, and it was just like, let's use these.
All right, David,
oh,
what
sweet, I
is your
found some Ghostbusters props behind this door that said Ghostbusters props.
David? What is your issue with the baseline music of this movie? You hate it. You said.
Oh yeah. I hate it because it's constant and it's like white. It's like blues for white people. You know, it is so white bluesy, and it's over and over and over again.
But
It's
Dave,
very
that's
repetitive.
that's a Carpenter staple, man. You could say the same thing about Escape from New York. You could say the same thing about maybe not Halloween, but you could say the same thing about Big Trouble, and you could definitely say the same thing about In the Mouth of Madness. That's kind of like a Carpenter calling card.
He uses the
mean,
same track throughout his entire movie.
Yeah, he writes two things, and it's like soundtrack is done.
Yeah.
Which
And he
which
doesn't have
is
to pay
why-
anyone.
Which is why the thing is so great, because the soundtrack was by Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
I kind of want to set this whole movie to the Seinfeld bass line and see how it would turn out.
The preacher is probably the best actor in the movie too.
Oh, he's killing it.
Because outside the limit of our sight, feeding off us, perched on top of us from
He
birth
is in
to
it, man.
death, are our owners. Our owners. They have us. They control us.
They control us.
Our masters. Wake up. They're all about you, all around you.
He sells it. I mean, there's no denying he sells that. And the beginning of this movie, what I like about it is the cinematography is pure 80s, and it's down to earth, and it's grounded, and it makes everything feel real. So whenever everything starts to get more fantastical, that gives it a little bit more of a pop. So whenever he first puts on those glasses, and you're like, "What the fuck? Why is this in black and white? What's happening?" And you start seeing, the signage. That's when I was like, "Holy shit! Like this really works." And I never saw this movie from beginning to end until today. And so I was like, wow, that's really cool that he took the time to set up like a reality 30 minutes in before it starts hitting me with all the fantastical stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Don't follow me. This is what Ethan said earlier.
I don't like nobody following me unless I know why.
Well, I don't join up with anybody till I see where he's going.
Gay chicken.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
What does joining up with anybody mean? I never got that. Like, I'm not joining up with anybody.
I think
What's
because
it-
he asked him to come join him at the homeless place. I think that's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they were,
Okay.
like I said, construction site tapping on the floor is what that was. So that's 100%
I'll be right back.
gay chicken. Right on.
Continue.
You will be dearly missed.
The nails.
Always thought you couldn't hair press on nails
Just to show one of the commercials here.
because of all the active things you do. Well, if you're ready for beautiful, natural looking, easy to apply,
It's ahead of its time right there.
colored in 7
Jeez,
luscious
baby.
hues. Just
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an art.
Oh, my nails are gonna look like that. Ew.
Sleep.
Oh, goddamn hacker, that second time tonight that asshole's cut in.
Goddamn hacker.
I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have diabetes.
They live, we sleep. I do like that they show that the making of the glasses here. I thought that was pretty cool. Looks like meth. They're making
That looks like meth.
Yeah,
This looks like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, they're making some meth.
Those sunglasses are made of meth.
Probably
look
found some
confused. He
Breaking
just kinda
Bad
looks-
props in the background.
Yeah. That was when they broke down the Breaking Bad door.
Right next to the Ghostbusters one.
Well, yeah, they keep them side by side just in case.
Yeah.
Late night gay chicken. Why is he looking at that? You gotta deny your love.
Oh, he
That's
walked
why.
away from me.
Now, there's one thing that it was before this clip, but after the clip Duck just did that you didn't get any of. When he takes the binoculars from one of the other guys in the camp, why is he using binoculars to spy on a church that's across the fucking street? And he's sitting like on the sidewalk, just kind of.
Yeah.
He's not that far away.
And he's there for 12 fucking hours at least. Like it was
Well,
morning,
I mean-
he can go to the church, and he sits there, and then it's nightfall.
He hides somewhere and looks at the church. He doesn't want them to look.
He
at
wasn't
us.
hidden,
He does
dude.
not.
He was out
He
in the
was on
front.
the fucking sidewalk.
He was like out in the corner of the homeless pasture.
He was
in the corner.
leisurely. Just
I could not
like
find
that.
better wording.
The homeless patch.
I could not find.
This is
better
where we
wording.
homegrown homeless people.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Ethan saw this earlier and he agreed with me. Why did he pick up this guy just to toss him through the window? Gotcha, buddy. He just wants to save somebody. That's all this movie is. He wants to be the hero. Yeet.
What a jerk.
Creepy baby doll.
And what was up with that guy immediately going in with that family and then like cowering in fear, wrapped in each other's arms?
He saved them.
That's what cowards do.
They hug each other in the corner.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Dan.
I'm just when I see my own, I analyze.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, and then he checks under the sunglasses for
Yep.
drugs.
Hey, he's like,
Is that what you think he was looking for the drugs?
He does have this look on his face. It's like this could have cocaine. Go back to his face when he like looks up from the box.
Oh, don't rewind.
Shut up, Will.
If you rewind, you'll get the bass line again.
Look at this. Look at this. He looks through it. Look at that face. That face is like there. Wait, cocaine.
Would you look
There's
at
got to
that
be cocaine in this
Gotta
box.
be cocaine under these sunglasses.
There it is. I'll get it. I'll get it.
I'm gonna check.
The 80s.
That is definitely a junky move that he's doing right there.
The junkie shuffle. That's everyone.
There's nothing but knockoff rebates in here. What the fuck?
Signs everywhere. It's signs.
This is his best acting. That whole scene.
It is a
I
great
mean-
scene.
Removing the sunglasses?
Yep. He owns it, man.
Fair enough.
One ugly son of a bitch.
What's your problem?
That works for me. That is creepy.
That's
is
the
so
iconic
good.
line. That's like that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's
My
the-
question is, why would the aliens buy the propaganda newspaper?
I wondered that too.
Because to them it's gay porn.
It's Keith David and
Keith
David and Roddy Piper doing reach arounds.
Maybe you guys read the novelization, but you don't take the time to research.
Novelization.
All
I
6
know.
pages.
Thank you, sir.
Everyday normal shit. I like this. Just showing like people just doing their normal stuff with the aliens.
She didn't even go to Lamar's class. I told her.
Look at this maid.
Oh.
This maid is so dead inside.
Yeah.
They're both pretty dead inside.
So depressed. I don't know what to do. Hey, go for it, man.
Really boils down to our
There it
ability
is.
to accept. We don't need pessimism. There are no limits.
It figures it would be something like this.
Our nation, our ideals of vision.
Excuse me.
Just survive.
You know, you look like your head fell on the cheese dip back in 1957.
Oh!
Fucking
shit.
boom!
Oh shit!
You're okay. This one, real fucking ugly. You see, I take these glasses off. She looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? put him back on? Formaldehyde face.
He kind of Bond villains himself right then too. He's like,
a little bit.
This is why I can see you. Oh shit.
Also, at that point, aren't you gonna to those other people? Aren't you gonna be like, hey man, try out these glasses. This is really weird. Is it just me?
Yeah, you're right. Why didn't he just go like, hey, check this out?
Because then the movie ends.
Yeah, that's true. And everyone freaks out.
The only thing I can kind of give to the credit of that is maybe there's something in that programming they're sending out that prevents you from wanting to see through the illusion. But even then, they didn't explain anything like that. So
it's ahead of its time because I've seen a white woman have that exact same rampage in a grocery store before. It's crazy how ahead of this time.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I don't know if that line even fits in the movie, but it's iconic. So, but
there's one, if you really pay attention, like right after he says, I'm all out of bubblegum, you can hear one guy in the background go, oh shit!
I know, that's why
he's serious now.
We don't know what world that is. Bubblegum's probably a very important thing.
Okay, she falls right on his dick. Watch this shit. And I mean, the way she acts is so weird anyhow.
Oh, yeah! No, I saw this last night, too.
Woo! There it was. Oh, yeah.
I love how her face when she gets up is like, why isn't there a dick in my mouth?
Yeah. Keith David walks in at that point and goes, it's not going to suck itself. Yes!
That's not the line.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, listen, it's a better line. Luke, I am your father, okay?
This was the coolest.
They're sending some kind of on the TV sets.
Bam!
And that was the moment Roddy Piper was in love.
Oh, yeah. They developed such a tight bond right there.
Like, if you look back at that moment right there, the move she just pulled kind of reminded me of, like, Terminator. Yeah. Like, she could have totally played off Arnold in the sequel. with that cold, dead face of hers.
I agree.
mean, honestly, like, why does he decide after that they're in love? Did he because he got hit on the head and he got a concussion or something? Like,
it's all him too, man. Because this whole movie, I'm sold that she is just all on the alien side.
Yeah,
completely.
There's no question at all.
No, none whatsoever.
I think she's on the alien side, but she definitely wants to fuck.
She definitely was submissive to him there for a second. I was sitting there like, this is fucking right on. Oh no! Oh no!
The cleanest garbage truck I've ever seen.
Why are they even racing it like that?
Good point.
Why are they dumping the trash in the middle of the street?
They don't know the back hatch is open.
Yeah, the back hatch.
Oh, yeah.
He just fell out of a third-story window. And then the truck backs up a little bit, and he goes, "Oh no!"
The slight incline, my weakness.
Maybe it's more he has a fear of inclines after his tumble.
That's exactly.
He
what
just
it was.
sees a fucking wheelchair ramp, and he goes, oh,
"I just want you to know, Ethan, I appreciated the oh no,
oh no."
Let the battle begin. This was sweet. I really appreciate this. The fact that he gets it right in the bottom.
Oh yeah, all 6.5 minutes in its glory. Let's go.
No, I didn't.
The best I could do.
Are we watching the whole thing? Because that is a really long
I didn't
fight.
even clip it. I didn't.
Can you just say how badass that throw was?
Yes, come on, right?
By Keith David.
That was badass.
And look at that, 3/4 through your clips, and we're just getting to a movie.
Don't worry, I didn't clip the fight. Life's a bitch.
Brother,
here's minute 1 of the fight.
Life's a bitch. She's back in heat.
Yeah, she is.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys ever see that when they turned Jaws into a romantic comedy?
Yes.
What?
Yes, Must Love Jaws. It's the best.
Must love Jaws. You could totally make this.
You never saw Must Love Jaws?
That can't be real.
No,
It's
it
so
is,
good.
dude. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's probably 20
But you
years
could
old
take
at this
clips
point.
of this movie and turn it into a interracial homosexual love story.
Yes, absolutely. They got this
And I'm
movie's got
going
a
to
big
do
case
that.
of the
That is
nutcase.
that's it. As my journey in life is going to be this.
The only reason at the end he's like, we got to save Holly and destroy the satellite is so that they don't think this movie's gay.
You can call it They Love.
And the glasses show you who's actually gay.
Oh, it's a gaydar.
Yeah.
Gay bands.
Now this sounds like every like we sound like a bunch of high school jocks right now. You know who's gay? You know who's totally gay?
But they are.
I just, as you said that, Jay, I looked at all of us and I was like, yeah, we all look like high school jocks. And then I saw Dan and I was like, no, he saved it for us.
Hey guys, just kidding. I did clip the fight. Just so you know.
Oh, God damn it.
Boom.
Knee kick off the wall, belly to back. Knee to nuts.
Was that okay, Will?
I love that version.
I missed the yakety sack for
This
so
made me
long.
so happy because I was not expecting what happens in this scene. So I had to clip this.
Where Ric Flair comes in.
Chops him.
Did you guys notice in that fight scene how the cops in front of them were shooting and then they got on their knees and the cops behind it would shoot like it was a Revolutionary War?
Yeah, it was out of control. It was really over the top, and like the movie falls apart after the fight scene. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what's happening half the time.
I wouldn't say that falls apart because the aliens want to squash this shit here and now. So they're going to go all out. Every cop, every gun, all arms, kill them all.
And the aliens are very weak, which is why they had to be more intelligent than us to take over us in the first place. So they're trying to squash the shit because Roddy Piper's an actual threat.
With the smallest gun on the planet.
With the smallest gun on the planet.
But he destroys the satellite. Looking like Patrick Swayze right there.
He really does.
You did it. Save the world.
No, save San Francisco.
Save the cheerleader. Save the world.
Fuck you.
It's even a weak ass middle finger, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of like crooked.
I did love this bit after the satellite blows up. Duck.
You didn't show the boobs, did you?
Yeah, you're not allowed to show the boobs.
I showed the boobs.
Dude.
Okay.
Okay.
You didn't.
Marry and reproduce.
Can you send me this scene with the boobs after the show?
Hey, it's on Peacock for free.
Boom, baby. What's wrong, baby?
Video off.
Yes, They Live. I think it's a great movie. Definitely got to check it out. With that said, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me on the cast today. God damn it, Will, you're just going to let me go like this. Well, there it is. Will recommends. We got to do some Will recommendations.
It's time for Will Recommend, but we're going to do it a little different.
Okay.
This is Will Does Not Recommend.
Uh-oh.
Will does not enjoy this.
Don't you name movies I love.
So I'm going to name two movies that the world seems to love that I just personally cannot stand.
I have your address.
Number one is Pet Sematary. This is
Fair.
a very famous horror movie. Like, people really love this movie. I mean, I love Stephen King, I do, but this is a weak fucking movie. Like, if you watch this movie, it's long, it's drawn out, it's not good, and it's just uncomfortable and badly done.
Gage, bro, you watch that movie for Gage. Gage is creepy and fucking or not Eddie Munster, but the father from the Monsters.
Look, I can see Jay. I can see Jay.
Yeah,
wait, Jay, wait. Here's my next one.
Uh-oh.
No,
that one doesn't bug me.
Oh,
The first one bugs me. Lost Boys, I can take or leave. But Pet Cemetery?
Yeah, it's just not good.
Aunt Zelda fucking scarred me for years.
I'm not saying that it's not creepy. It does have a creepy vibe. Let me go back. But
what has a creepy vibe right now is Dan's face glitching out. It looks like Dan's
he
face
does
is
that.
just kind of jumping up.
I'm coming to y'all from the Matrix.
He looks like one of the Lost Boys right now. That's why he's
Lost
freaking
Boys.
out.
Lost Boys, I can take or leave.
I've shaped my whole 30s into the Lost Boys.
Between me and Dan, we are the Lost Boys. Look at that fucking poster. Like, are you kidding me? Like love The Lost Boys. All right,
Well-
Will, why do you not recommend The Lost Boys?
It's just the most mediocre, overdrawn vampire movie ever. Like it has its moments, but it's so filled with nostalgia while being in the era of it. Like it's desperately trying to, I don't know how to put it.
How is it nostalgic? I guess
I know.
need a
I
little
know.
more
it's hard to explain what I'm thinking
because that
it's
movie
like
came out.
It's like Clueless, where Clueless feels so 90s that it's almost not good, and Lost Boys feels so 80s that it's just overtopping itself.
David, do you remember? Man, I just read about this like about a month ago, but there was another vampire movie that came out right around the same time as The Lost Boys, and it just didn't hit.
Near Dark?
Maybe that's it. That's you just nailed it. Near Dark with Near Dark.
Near Dark is amazing.
Near Dark?
Catherine Bigelow directed that.
Yep, it's an amazing movie. It's the guy from Aliens that just passed away recently, Bill Paxton.
Lance Henriksen.
Okay. Also the female Mexican badass chick from Aliens.
Vasquez.
Yep. And the girl, the hot blonde, was in Pink Floyd. She played the groupie in Pink Floyd.
So why is this popular? Because it has a bunch of fucking 80s
the Lost
superstars.
Listen, The Lost Boys is popular because it's a hour and a half MTV music video.
And it has the greatest song, Cry Little Sister.
Have you guys ever, speaking of gay, have you guys ever seen the mashup where they show the guy shirtless with the chains playing the saxophone, and it's just the shot of the guy and his brother staring at him over and over again?
No.
Yes, I have. I thought you were saying that because
David, I don't think you watched They Live, man. I think you watched something else.
gay
Probably
porn.
They Fuck.
But Joel,
the gay porn.
Joel Schumacher directed it. That's why I thought he said "speaking of gay" because supposedly
he's not ashamed to admit that he puts a lot of gay imagery in a lot of his movies. He doesn't hide that at all. The relationship between David and Kiefer Sutherland and Jason that was completely meant to be very homoerotic. That wasn't.
And the guy, the muscle guy with the chains and the saxophone, he still does that to this day. Like that's his thing, man. He's got some great videos on the webs of him still playing with muscles and chains.
And on top of that, Joel Schumacher slept with between 10,000 to 20,000 men. Just throwing that out.
Wow.
He said that in an interview. He said that
for him. Jesus, that's some numbers.
It's
that
impressive.
explains the Batman movies.
Yep.
People also, there's supposed to be a really awesome like Batman Forever director's cut. Apparently Joel Schumacher also has a cut that's supposed to be different than Batman Forever, and now DC fans want it on HBO Max.
They want to Snyder cut that shit. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining this week for Camp/Horrorcast. Thank you everyone who's been in the chat. Greg, we didn't get to say hi to you, but we see you there. Definitely had a good time. So coming up next week, we're going to have Dead Alive. That's going to be my birthday pick. I already clipped that today. I can't wait to watch that again. That movie is so much fun. After that, we're going to do Drag Me to Hell. Heading into February, we're going to have Alien, Candyman, which is Jay's birthday pick, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Whose birthday pick was that? Is that you, Will?
No, I think Terra Firma is mine.
Terra Firma is yours.
I thought we did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 so we can get Larry back.
Yeah, we definitely got to get Larry Garza
Larry
back on the cast here. Hopefully he'll be able to join us for that. David, where can they find you on the internet?
Facebook, Stop Motion Nightmares, Instagram at Children of Dave, and if you live in Dallas, go to Curiosities in Lakewood or Curious Garden by White Rock Lake, and you can see my artwork in person.
Fuck yeah. Dan, where can they find you on the web?
You can see me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Red Nebula Pictures. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you live in Dallas, you can see me perform on the 24th at Hyenas Comedy Nightclub Dallas and February 12th at Oak Highlands Brewery. And yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Fuck yeah. Thank you so much for doing this cast, dude. We were so happy to have you on. You can check us out at wearepodcastnetwork.podbean.com. Check out all the podcasts there. We have We Are Era, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake and the Javi. We're breaking down pop culture. We have We Are Bagu. That's me and Ethan. We are talking Atari to Steam and everything else in between. We also have Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. I will be dropping those podcasts soon for the D&D, and we'll be doing a couple more of those, hopefully, before we head back to, Ethan heads back to school. You can check out...
Oh, boy goes to school!
Oh, yeah. You can check out I Hate Being Sober, personal stories from epic people. Recently, I dropped one with me and Javi. It's great. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, go check that out. And finally, you can find us here every Monday. Oh, the Discord. How do I always forget the Discord, man? Join our Discord. It's right there. Yes, thank you, Will. I'm sorry. Join our Discord. Will takes care of that. He definitely puts everything up in there that we've been doing. That sounded weird the way I said it. And finally...
Put it all up in there, boys.
Will takes care of that Discord.
Ass to ass.
I'm just going to take it out for air, baby.
It ain't going to blow itself. Which, by the way, is it horrible? Hey, has Keith David and David Keith ever been in a movie together?
Oh, I fucking hope so. What an onomatopoeia.
No.
And finally, no.
I like how Jay just got excited about David Keith and Keith David being in a movie together, and Jay just came in with no.
You're stupid, and your face is stupid.
And finally, you can find us every Monday here on Twitch at 8 p.m. Central Time for Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past. Keep horror in your heart. Guys, thank you again. Dan, thank you so much for being here for this one. We really do appreciate it. With that said, Ethan, please cut the feed.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, that's Javi. We're breaking down pop culture, and we're having a blast. And don't forget, We Are Bagu, a video game podcast where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. We're breaking down all that video game lore. Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D and we're having so much fun. I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people where I sit down with some of my favorite people on this planet. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and we just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And finally, Camp/Horrorcast. That's our weekly video cast. Join us every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time on Twitch as we break down our favorite horror movies from the past. Check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And don't forget to join our Discord. All links can be found in the description. With that said, thank you again for checking out the podcast today. We truly hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please share with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this channel. With that said, we'll see you on the next one.